Well, welcome back to another Roguelite video. Sorry for the weird audio in the previous ones. I'm struggling to figure that out. Anyway, so since they've added a new game plus that doesn't force you to restart and you can actually build off of your previous builds, I decided I would run them. First difficulty is Abyss, the next one is Oblivion. With these come a new bell called the Oblivion bell. You don't have, it's similar to Ascensions, but you don't have the extra relic slots up top. You don't have to worry about skill ranks automatically at the max. Because I'm using a spell build, I'm focusing on conviction. So mana, conviction gain, cooldown reduction, mana shield, and that kind of stuff. Summon spell damage. It's the Holy Rosary split shot build as I ran for the campaign. And I'm going to keep making it better. So, the core of the build is this Holy Rosary, and I walk to activate it. Spells gain more damage per active summon. Bell spawns spirits for 10 seconds. The base cooldown increased by 3 seconds is a nerf that recently got put on this, but I still have about just under 2 second cooldown and I have lots of flat CDR. So in the time between, may as well just walk and generate more Holy Rosaries anyway. That's how I had it previously, is just spam for a few seconds then walk in circles. Now, that said, you're getting damage from conviction for Holy Rosary, so this needs to be as stupidly high as possible. To that end, I just snapped this on. It became a staple in my other builds when I was running Ascension, and I figured it would probably synergize very well. This is also very useful. I need a better one, as I kept this one for the cooldown speed. Then having the guards do split shot allows... I just wanted to do everything guard focused when I made this build, and it works, so I'm not complaining. This needs to be higher tier, this needs to be higher tier, and the campaign is hard to actually get high tier stuff for things that do not drop from Act 3. So, double guards, spawning more guards. Guards fire split shot. Split shot is a single shot using Pearl of Vengeance to doubles number of projectiles, which would also double the damage. Then Holy Rosary is cast from summons instead, has new base damage 16%. Doesn't do 16% damage of like the original total, the way that this does 53% of the original. So this applies at 100% effectiveness, which is crazy when you get to like 60 plus conviction. This is just useful because it makes them trail alongside your summons, so they don't just stay in orbit around the place of their summoning, they follow your summons instead. And this of course because I'm going to have maybe 20 summons. Used to be a lot more, but we will make do. As for the actual constellation, focusing on cooldown reduction by getting agility orbs, then taking this. Power orbs are also always useful for mana regeneration. This increases agility orb spawn chance, so max number of agility orbs. I'm eventually going to go here for 40% multiplicative damage to everything. Well, actually no, this is probably only for marksman skills. And because split shot doesn't benefit from this, it's cast through summons. This might actually be useless. Huh. This would be decent. You could also go for this for the split shots. I'm focusing on these for the lightning damage for Holy Rosary. This is bugged. Doesn't really increase the max power orb if you only have one summon skill. You'll get it for maybe a couple seconds. This is useful, however. The amount of mana shield you can have combined with this means that when I'm sitting at 5, let me just cast this up to 5. I'm sitting with 82% mana shield. That means 82% of all damage is taken from mana, and this mana regenerates stupidly quickly. So my conviction isn't going to go down very much, meaning I can stack it a lot easier, which means my damage is easier to maintain. This is useful for reducing enemy resistances by 25%. And assuming resistances function for enemies the same way that they do for players, where negative resistance increases the amount of damage you take, theoretically that would stack with Judgment to multiplicatively increase the damage. That's fairly commonly how abilities like that work in these games, but because it doesn't explicitly stay, you don't know for certain. Abyss is ridiculously easy. It's easier than Ascensions, so I just plowed through the first 2 acts. I'm gonna finish it down. So let's get some critical chance. They don't have a count. Catholic Guard damage applies to both the split shot shots and Holy Rosary. This would only buff the Holy Rosary damage and we need more duration, because the Conviction Generation relic stacks for each slow time. Resistance Shred. Area of effect is useful. Makes life a lot easier. Okay. So I still need more crit chance at 76% with the buff out. Probably going to want to go mana first. As for why I'm not running Passage to teleport all the minions, there are too many good buffs. Judgment potentially dealing multiplicative damage increases does seem a lot better than just simple utility teleporting all your minions in one place.
An artifact of divine relic.
Both the critical chance and the critical damage, as opposed to being a flat increase. But that is also an assumption, based off of how the wording sounds.
An artifact of divine relic.
Still. There are more cursed shrines in this. I do not need that. I'll save my note. Earth Conviction or cooldown from that.
This artifact shall aid in vanquishing of enemies if want is sent. My prayers have been heard. I'm grateful for this gift. I reckon fortune's on our side. Our reward, vengeance.
Yes. That's far better. And 100,000 conviction. What the actual heck? I wanted that. That's the next announcement. Is the one inside of this building. The ability to see what is going on.
I reckon fortune's on our side.
200k. Okay, that's absurd. I do wish the summons would apply silver bullets, because then they would also scale off of my conviction. That would be an absurd build though. If you could slap powdered bag on the summons damage.
This artifact shall aid me in vanquishing the enemies of Quantis Sanctum.
I should have used my potions. They'll give me a lot more damage. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. this is useful.
They need vanquishing the enemies, not us.
Okay, this is going to be absurd.
Specimen 329B insists on returning.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
His actions confirm his reduced brain matter.
It's actually absurd.
Your bullying affects
I forgot to...
me more.
I don't have more damage, but actually remember to use these. Oh well. So, Holy Rosary Summons are not dead. At all. That is crazy. That will absolute holy crap. So, split shots actually falling behind. Used to be able to keep us within 1/3 of Holy Rosary's damage. Now it's just a meme. If several bullets worked on it, I could actually pull my head, because that would also give a conviction damage. So, yeah, just quickly going over it. These 4 are the core of my cooldown reduction. And in fact, you only really need these if you do a marksman one. These are split shots and repeater. So, agility orbs and power orbs, which you power orbs you get from spinning mana. Agility orbs represent chance on kill and on hitting an elite, which the Holy Rosary does a lot. That will reduce all active cooldowns by 1 second. Instead of right now, and then I can also have 5 power orbs. I'm supposed to be able to have 6, but this is bugged. Please fix. That will give me significant mana shield per orb to the point where I cannot die, and my conviction is not really being reduced. And that will be the primary source of damage. This is multiplicative, theoretically, lightning damage, being constant negative resist. I need this. Why not? And for relics, this is more flat damage. As you saw, the other had over 100,000 in the final fight, as 22% of that gets put through all the multipliers that would be applied to Holy Rosary, which include the guard's damage, summon damage, and spell damage. It's absurd. This holds the orbs in place so that you can actually utilize them properly. This boosts conviction as well. This is supposed to work with this to double the amount of damage of split shots here, but this is falling behind now. I'm going to have to add it as this summon spirits. This duplicates them. If need be, I could honestly drop these two, but I would much prefer to actually have split shots in, just for something being cool. We'll have to test again in case it got changed with the updates, But so far as I know, silver bullets will not work with summons versions of split shots. For the bell, mana is important because that directly increases the amount of it's the base damage. That said, my OCD was, I don't like save OCD, but that was annoying me. So, bonus time, portals, these were actually unnecessary. I didn't need a portal once. Mana, conviction gain, cooldown reduction, all of that. As for gear, projectile skill amount is important. It duplicates the number of orbs, and it also does the same for split shots. You want as much cooldown speed as possible. And you want conviction. This is significant, conviction gain. I used to have this at about 400%, but I had to give up some lower tier relics, so it's a lot worse. And it does slow this down, but the flat cooldown reduction from the constellation bonuses does alleviate that, so it's not completely necessary. And well, it's 20 just now. Let me pull this up again so you can see. If I max up my power orbs. If I max up my power orbs, I'm looking at 82%. So when I'm actually playing this, if there's somebody off of cooldown, press the button. That's it. That's genuinely it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day.